Part 25. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 244. Lin, foreshadows the Senju clan of the forest. Being virtuous means that Senju Uto is moral and a good person, which is very consistent with the character of the Senju clan. Added together, it is Lin, Da. Snapped. Just then, Senju Uto slapped the opponent in the face and turned him into an emoticon. He had no intention of pitying her because the other party was a girl. Besides, this person is so old, she is 15 or 16, and Hikaru Hinata is only 9 years old. Take care. Senju Uto maintained the fanning posture with both hands, his lower body did not move, he only twisted his upper body and looked back at Hinata Hikari. This painting is exactly the world-famous painting Lin Yude's revised palm. Hinata nodded her head, put her hands behind her back, and left leisurely. Then, the sound of a slap came from behind. Not even my dad ever hit me. That's why you are so willful. People who have not received a lesson cannot grow up. In addition to the other parties crying, of course there was also Senju Uto's correction of his righteous words. From today on, Senju Uto, who hugs Hinata Hikari's thigh tightly, will completely embark on the path of correcting others. By the time Hinata Hikaru slowly walked to the mission release area, Senju Uto had already completed his corrections and followed him. At the same time, Hinata Hikaru, Namikaze Minato, and Namatsu met up. The three of them walked into the lobby on the second floor. The person in charge of the affairs is still Mito Minion. The reason why he is not the Sandaime Hokage is because the war in the ninja world is in full swing. The border conflicts, large and small, continued one after another, making the Sandaime Hokage extremely busy. Mito Kadoyan saw Hinata Hikaru walking in and took the initiative to raise his head and greet her. Hikaru Hinata, your strength has improved again. Mito Gate Flame doesn't just refer to Hinata Hikaru beating up Uchiha Y. More importantly, he can even learn the Ape Demon Fist. Mito Minion heard about this from the Sandaime and felt relieved. Now he looks at Hinata Hikaru no matter what he likes. But Mito Monahan took the initiative to say hello to a junior, which was incredible. So, everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at this respected high-ranking official in Konoha in disbelief. This has never happened before. Gaga, this leader has a long future, and there are still many moves to practice. Hinata Hikaru did not brag this time, but said very modestly. She was telling the truth. Although he can now beat Uchiha Y, he is only a genin after all. There are countless masters in this world. Let's talk about the Mito Manitas in front of us. Although Mito Manabu is only a cage-level ninja goalkeeper, any other cage-level player can defeat him. But Mito Manabu, who is only in his 40s now, has no problem beating everyone present. Comparing her own strength with Mito Gate Flame, Hinata Hikaru knew that she had a long road ahead. Mito Minion nodded with satisfaction. Not arrogant, not impetuous, very good. After that, Mito Kaden did not mention the matter of Uchiha Y. The matter of Uchiha Ryuka's murder of Hinata Hikari seemed to have been handled coldly. The top brass of Konoha have considerations for the top brass of Konoha. Maybe they don't want to attack their former allies for the sake of unity. Or they are waiting for the Uchiha clan to die. Hinata Hikaru remembers an illusion when he was at Blue Star. It's called Zhengbo Duan Yuyan. Zhengbo and the top management of Konoha knew from the beginning that with the connivance of the Zhang family and others, the ambition of his uncle Duan Uchiha would expand step by step until he reached this point. His approach was deliberate connivance. He clearly knew that any unjust behavior will lead to self-destruction, but he repeatedly gave them opportunities to lead them on the path of self-destruction until the situation was irreversible and there was no further trouble. I still end up being a filial mother and brother, but they are sorry that I have failed to live up to my good reputation towards them. To put it simply, Zhengbo Duan Yuyan is a man who lures snakes out of their holes, kills them, and spoils a naughty child. We agreed on whatever the naughty kid did, flattered him, and in the end, the naughty kid became lawless and committed a grievous death. Then we came out to occupy the moral high ground, criticized him, and even killed him. Gaga, you old guys are so bad. Hinata Hikaru smiled slightly, with an expression on his face that said, this leader understands everything. Hikaru Hinata, this is your reward for this mission. Mito Kadoyan took out a scroll that he had prepared long ago from the table and stool. Start with Hyuga Hikari. Somewhat heavy. It seems that something is sealed inside. The sealing technique can seal a large number of items and greatly reduce the weight of the items. But for ninjas who can weigh items by the gram, the difference from ordinary blank scrolls can be tested with their hands. Hinata held the scroll and attracted everyone's attention. Sea-level mission. Hinata Hikaru is the first genin in this generation to complete a sea-level mission. Her experience has triggered the most popular incident recently. Everyone quietly observed the interaction between Mito Kadoyan and Hinata Hikaru, and they could figure out a lot of meanings from it. Hyuga, I heard that you went to Long Country before. Mito Kabuto mentioned what happened at that time. Hinata Hikaru's experience of following the monkey demon all the way from the Kingdom of Fire to the Flower and Fruit Mountain in the Kingdom of Long. Well, it's just in the wilderness of Long Country, with no village in front of it, no shop in the back, and not even a place to eat. Hinata nodded. The Kingdom of Long was an interesting experience. Well, I have a mission here. Mito Minoyan pointed to the scroll on the table. There are many tasks listed above. What is outlined with a big cross has been completed. Those that are not checked are waiting for the ninja to pick them up. Sea-level mission, patrolling the border between the country of Fire and the country of Tang. Good. Hinata nodded and accepted the task. Soup country. Many people may not be familiar with it, but this country actually has an inseparable relationship with a certain immortal cultist who has not yet been born. Haiden, one of the members of Akatsuki, the #1 terrorist organization in the future. It is Yuyan village who was born in the country of Tang. The country of Tang is very special. It is a neutral country, just like the country of Iron. But what is different from the Iron Kingdom is the former was forced to withdraw from the stage of history, while Tang country voluntarily gave up the fight for land. People in this country are generally peace-loving, even ninjas are salty fish. Ninjas from other countries mostly perform killing missions, but ninjas from Yuno country are more like law enforcers who maintain law and order. Sounds a lot like the Uchiha clan's police department. The country of Yu, which was a neutral country, refused to fight. Even the outbreak of the Second Ninja War did not allow this country to join it. Among the many countries in the ninja world, the country of Yu is a very strange country. Hinata Hikaru agreed immediately, not because this task was very safe. More importantly, there are many hot springs in the country of Yu, where you can take a bath. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 245. She, Hinata Hikaru, just wants to travel and have fun. Mito Kadoyan was very satisfied with Hinata's answer. This crisp and clear performance made his inner evaluation of Hinata rise a lot. This mission requires a multi-person team. Mito Minyan made a mission request. In the eastern part of the country of Fire, 1/3 of the country's border is connected to the country of Tang. It is obvious that a few people cannot complete the task. This is not like the Kingdom of Grass, only part of the area is connected to the Kingdom of Fire. Namikaze Minato, Namatsu. There are more below. Senju Uto suddenly appeared from the side. He raised his hands in a very positive manner. Mito Kadoyan silently looked at Senju Uto, his eyes full of scrutiny of him. Although Senju Uto pushed Hinata off the cliff because he was possessed by Uchiha-wise Sheri non-illusion, it was still his responsibility anyway. Senju Uto, I haven't blamed you yet. Have you forgotten what I told you at that time? Mito Minion's face began to look very ugly. A flame-like shadow rose from Mitoman's back. The atmosphere also became more solemn. Senju Uto recalled the situation at that time. This mission, you must do your best to protect Hinata Hikaru. If there is any problem with her personal safety, I swear to the Nidame Hokage-sama that I will make you realize what the burning will of fire is, and then pack you and others together and send them to the front line and send you to the most dangerous battlefield of Kyomagakure village, so that you and those black people can skinned and muscular brothers, let's have a wrestling match. Mitoman's back was shrouded in darkness, and then, the glasses on the bridge of his nose began to reflect light. Some unknown, indescribable, angry emotion burned in his expressionless body. Not good. Senju Uto forgot about this. Come here. Mito Kadoran waved his hand and saw two umbu pop up next to him. Take this fancy little thing, him. Mitoman Yan pointed at Senju Uto. Throw him into the tower in the forest of death, let him experience the process of the Chunin exam in advance, go. As soon as Mito Kadoyan finished speaking, two umbu pinched Senju Uto, one on the left and one on the right, who was trying to escape. The Forest of Death, also known as the 44th Training Ground. It is a training ground established by the second Hokage Senju Tobirama during his lifetime. Judging from the auspicious number of 44th and the ranking, the Death Forest's name of Death is well deserved. In this huge training ground with a radius of 10 kilometers and a diameter of 20 kilometers, there are countless dangers. Poisonous weeds, poisonous insects, poisonous snakes, piranhas. A huge and ferocious beast that is dozens or hundreds of times larger than ordinary creatures. It can be said that there is almost no safe place. Even if you are a Chuyunin, you cannot safely pass through the training ground without any damage. Mito Monahan sent Senju Uto in and asked him to conduct a live broadcast of survival in the wild. This obviously gave the Senju clan a lot of face and at the same time severely punished Senju Uto. No help Hyuga Hikaru girl, help me. Senju Uto stretched out his hands, twisted his legs, and kept calling for help. But the two umbu firmly held Senju Uto and walked outside. Oh. Hinata Hikaru turned around and waved his little hand towards Senju Uto. Goodbye. She says. Hinata Hikaru, who looks innocent and cute, seems to have no idea where the Death Forest is. It's strange. Hinata Hikaru knows better than anyone that there is a magical horse in the Forest of Death. Because in the last life, Hinata Hikaru entered the Forest of Death. This Senju Uto is quite interesting. After Mito Minion stood up, he let out a long sigh of relief. He walked towards the window behind him. From here, he could see the flowers, plants, mountains, and rocks in the backyard. I feel much more comfortable. Mito Monahan had a satisfied expression on his face, and his eyes were filled with contentment. After sending Senju Uto to the Forest of Death, Mito Kadoyan turned around. An expression that says, I do what I say. When other Konoha ninjas saw this scene, their stagnant figures became active again. He took on tasks when he was supposed to, and worked when he was supposed to work, as if he was afraid that he would also be assigned. There are other teams that are performing this mission together. Come over. Mito Minion waved towards the door, and a group of people walked in from the corridor outside. There are actually quite a few acquaintances. Ryo Sarutobi, Momika Senju. But among these people are some big dog owners and members of the dog family. They were all genin. But there are no ninjas with civilian backgrounds. It seems. The civilian ninjas are represented by Namatsu and Namikaze Minato. The two of them will be the only two civilian children in this team. Hikaru Hinata, you will be the captain of this mission, and the others will follow Hikaru Hinata and do their best. Mito Manabu immediately made arrangements, with Hinata Hikaru leading all genin. But it was obvious that some people were dissatisfied. However, these dissatisfied people were smart and did not refute on the spot. But the disdain or calculation in their eyes betrayed their hearts. "Ga, Ryo Sarutobi, you are also here to take on a sea-level mission." Hinata looked around and saw several familiar faces, most of them unfamiliar. But just by looking at the appearance, you can tell that most of the family children in Konoha are gathered here. Needless to say, Ryo Sarutobi is the son of the Hokage and the biggest dog owner. Senju Momika should not be the representative of the Senju clan for this reason, because it is obviously better to choose the Senju rope tree. So, it's because she is the daughter-in-law appointed by a third-generation old man. Then there is Hinata Xiao. Then there are other people I don't know. For example, a single ponytail can save the world, and the Yamanaka clan is extremely paranoid about this hairstyle. Nara, who has a high IQ but is also obsessed with carrot hairstyle. There is also the autumn path of eating, and knowing what to eat. Of course, there are many young men from the Uchiha clan, as well as Inyazuka, a Barame. Ho! Mito Minion arranged a reinforced platoon. Only. With such a large team, it is naturally difficult to find a leader. No one is convinced by anyone, everyone is a big dog, and no one is much higher than anyone else. Interesting. Hinata turned her eyes and quickly realized the trouble behind it. Quack. Just then, Hinata smiled strangely and looked at Mito Minion. "Elder Yan, this leader can be the team leader, but I'm afraid they won't be obedient." Hinata Hikaru stretched out his small hand and pointed at the rich and powerful second generation. "If you don't make it clear in advance and things go wrong when the time comes, don't look for her. Just beat them if they don't obey. Beat them until they are convinced." Mito Kadenyan's light words decided the matter. Everyone twitched their mouths and thought, what is this? After being beaten up by this little psychopath, Hikaru Hinata, can I still see people? Haven't you seen the fate of Uchiha Ryo? He's so disabled. This is exactly what Mito Minion considers. Only Hinata Hikari, who can make Uchiha Ryo die socially, can completely stop the wild hearts of these naughty children. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 246. This leader needs a loser. Hinata Hikaru said that it would be best to have someone who can help her bully others. It is good. Mito Monahan nodded and transferred Senju Uto back, who had been assigned to Africa. The life of a powerful person is so simple, and boring. Hyaga Hikaru girl. Senju Uto was immediately moved and said that he would do his best. Hikaru Hinata. Mito Minion spoke again. You have to be careful on this mission. Although the country of you is a neutral country, it is inevitable that you may encounter hostile ninjas mixed in, trying to cross the border of the country of you and launch an attack on Konoha. In history, a large country often directly crosses over a small country to carry out strategic strikes on targets. For example, currently in the western part of the country of fire, the troops led by Tsunade are fighting fiercely with the ninjas of Sunagakure village in the country of Kawa, which is adjacent to the country of fire. The country of Sichuan is a small country, and the country's daimyo is also very desperate, but what can he do? Fortunately, the northern part of Kawa no Kuni was uninhabited, with no grass growing except for rocks, so both sides were willing to fight hard. This leader will pay attention to those crooked fruit ninjas. Hinata Hikaru said that if she encountered it, she would knock the opponent out. Then, let's go. Mito Kadoyan looked at Hinata Hikari, his eyes full of relief and admiration. Although Hinata Hikari has a brain problem, there is no doubt that he is a good child. She is extremely talented, even as good as Namikaze Minato, and is a true genius. There are few rivals among her peers. If she were to be the leader, she would definitely be able to make arrangements for those naughty children. Besides, what Jiraiya said. Hikari Hinata completed the first sea-level mission perfectly and defeated 3 genin from Kizagakura village. It can be said that it fully reflects the strength of Konoha's genin and brings great face to Konoha. The only thing that can compare to it. In addition to geniuses, there are all kinds of big dogs. What about Namikaze Minato, Sarutobi Ryo? Only these people are qualified to be compared with Hinata. Although he is young, his future achievements can certainly be foreseen. Elder Yan, then the leader of the church, has set off. Hinata waved her little hand, turned and left. The title Elder Yan was very easy for her to pronounce, and Mightyman Yan also heard it very well. Thanks to Hinata Hikaru being tortured by various fantasy martial arts, he was able to call out this title without any violation. If replaced by the third-generation Sarutobi Hiruzen, I'm afraid he would be called the third-generation old man or something like that. Border of no Kuni. Senju Uto followed Hinata Hikaru every step of the way. Among the entire team, he stood out. There was no other way. A rather older Chuyunin was inserted among a group of genin brats, that was quite eye-catching. But Senju Uto has no self-awareness that he is a Chuyunin. He began to make suggestions for Hinata Hikaru, showing off his past strengths in intelligence gathering. In the past, when Senju Uto had nothing to do, he liked to guess around all day long. Which naughty kid looks like the protagonist, and which naughty kid looks like cannon fodder? Whose thigh should I hug and who should I stand with? These things. Senju Uto knew everything clearly. The genin of the Nara clan is called Narashika 13, and the genin of the Yamanaka clan is named Yamanaka. Like countless family treasures, Senju Uto told the names and origins of each naughty child and rich second generation by our day one by one. At last. There was a pause in his tone. Because. Senju Uto introduced the genin of the Uchiha clan. The corners of his mouth twitched unnaturally, and he obviously still remembered various things about the Uchiha clan. When it comes to dealing with Uchiha, Uto Senju and Hikaru Hinata are on the same side. Who is he? Yesong frowned, with a calm expression on his face, quite philosophical. Namikaze Minato also looked at the boy from the Uchiha clan curiously. Not like other Uchihas. The young man lowered his head with a gloomy look, completely unable to see the posture of a big dog with his nostrils turned upward. This is very un-Uchiha. If he hadn't seen the Uchiha clan's fan emblem on his body, Hinata Hikari would have thought he was a walk-on or something. He is the leader of the Uchiha clan. The end of the crane. Hinata leaned back tactically, obviously shocked. Ahem, I should say it's the former tail of the crane. Senju Uto explained. His name is Uchiha Yefan. The word leaf needs no explanation, it represents the meaning of wood leaves and leaves. In Konoha Hidden Village, if you pick out a random person while walking on the street, there is a half chance that their name is related to Konoha and the Will of Fire. What Konohamaru, what Hanabi? The word fan. It is said that Uchiha Yefan's parents hope that he can live an ordinary life and be an ordinary person. Hinata nodded. Very easy to understand. Although in the world of Naruto, ninjas fight and kill, strength is everything. But there are always parents who want their children to live an ordinary life. Then how did he become a ninja? Yesong frowned, wondering if there was any grudge. Look at this Uchiha Yefan, although he is holding back, but his face is full of bitterness and hatred. He is obviously a person with a story. Yes. Senju Uto nodded. Of course this Uchiha Yefan has a story, not only a story, but also very legendary. Uchiha Yefan's parents died when he was 3 years old. Boy, this is one of the protagonist elements. But in this world, it is very common to be without a father or a mother. Therefore, Uchiha Yefan has been living in the house of his second uncle's aunt's nephew's cousin's uncle. Without even taking a breath, Senju Uto mentioned a long list of relationships that were unforgettable. No way. The world is like this. With a large ethnic group, the relationships among various aunts and uncles are extremely complex and messy. It's not easy to stroke. Because of this kind of thing, Uchiha Yefan has been bullying him. His talent is mediocre, and his physical skills and illusions are all terrible. Therefore, in the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Yefan with the title. The tail end of the Uchiha clan. Senju Uto glanced at Hinata Hikari. Perhaps. Uchiha Yefan's situation is similar to that of Hinata Hikari before. Hikaru Hyuga is known as the shame of the Hyuga clan. And Uchiha Yefan. It is a shame for the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Yefan went through 10 ninja school graduation exams and finally became a genin. It's not easy. Hinata commented. To be able to take the exam 10 times before graduating is really extraordinary, in every sense of the word. Then, it was said that Uchiha Yefan went out to perform a certain mission and disappeared for a month. Everyone thought he was dead, but Uchiha Yefan in the end, he came back alive. Then he embarked on Uchiha Yefan's counterattack. Became Uchiha Aotian. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 247. Uchiha Yefan first defeated several naughty boys from his tribe who had been bullying him, and suddenly became the focus of everyone's attention. After that, he successively defeated his fellow tribesmen one after another and grew stronger. That's it. Uchiha Yefan changed his original impression among the tribe in one fell swoop, made a perfect counterattack, and reached the pinnacle of his life. Okay, this is very protagonist style. 30 years in Hidong and 30 years in Hexi. Don't bully young people into poverty. If it weren't for the fact that the other party was an Uchiha, Senju Uto might have hugged Uchiha Yefan's lap long ago if he had objections to him. Finally. Senju Uto hesitated to speak, but finally looked at Hinata Hikari. Because the last thing has something to do with Hinata Hikari. Hinata Hikari was puzzled. What does this have to do with this leader? Of course it has a huge relationship. Uchiha Yefan counterattacked to the last step. He was just short of defeating Uchiha Ryuwei. He issued a challenge to Uchiha Ryuwei. The two will fight at the top of Konoha about a week later. The Fire Shadow Rock, the result. As a result, Uchiha Ryuwei was taken care of by Hinata Hikari. Uchiha Yefan's counterattack was temporarily interrupted. With just this last step, Uchiha Yefan can take his place and become the strongest genin possible. Uchiha Yefan was quite depressed. It was just one step away. He could unify the Uchiha genin and become the strongest. As a result, Hinata Hikaru appeared halfway. Not only did he defeat his last opponent, he even became a man of the hour in Konoha because of it. Uchiha Yefan should have been in Hinata Hikaru's position. However, the script was completely rewritten. Uchiha Yefan may be very strong, but the strongest one is Hinata Hikaru. Yesong frowned and expressed his opinion. Hinata is justice, let others go. Laugh. Senju Uto sneered, obviously not taking it seriously. However, Senju Uto did not refute on the spot. Because he was ready to die again. Senju Uto is thinking. Hinata Hikari is a genius girl who defeated Uchiha Ryuki. His own strength is undoubtedly worthy of recognition, and he comes from the famous Hyuga clan. In terms of looks, quite cute. The most important thing is, Hikaru Hinata is very shameless and very high profile. In this way, she met Uchiha Yefan. What? According to ordinary ninja novels, Hinata Hikaru at this time seems to be a villain setting. Uchiha Yefan is bitter and has a deep hatred, and the neurotic and high-profile Hinata Hikaru will inevitably conflict with him. Then Uchiha Yefan gritted his teeth and said with a cold face what to say, 30 years in the east of Hidong, 30 years in the west of Hexi, Hinata Hikari, don't bully young people into poverty. Then, in the blink of an eye, Hinata was knocked down and replaced, and everyone exclaimed in disbelief. Hinata Hikaru became a stepping stone on the way to the rise of Uchiha Yefan. Oh no! Before Hinata Hikaru gets beaten, the younger brother will take action first. It's this one, called Yesong, right? At first glance, he looks like a bitch. This boy from the Earth Spider clan obviously regards Hikari as a righteous person. Maybe because of a small conflict, he would have to fight Uchiha Yefan. The younger brother stepped forward to challenge and was defeated. Then Hinata Hikaru was unconvinced and felt humiliated. So he said some nervous lines like I am the leader and ended up personally. As a result, he was slapped in the face by Uchiha Yefan. The team is moving forward, but Senju Uto, who has been severely poisoned by ninja novels, is still thinking about something. The more he thought about it, the more I feel there is something wrong with this mission. It seems that there is a big hand in the dark, arranging Hinata Hikaru. It was arranged as an NPC for Uchiha Yefan to fight monsters and upgrade. It is said that clan's Hyuga Zyujin has the true inheritance of the Hyuga clan's Taijutsu, and has a good relationship with Hyuga Hikari. That is to say, after Uchiha Yefan beat Hinata Hikaru, Hinata Xiao was unhappy and jumped out, and then became the target of Uchiha Yefan's face slap. Oh grass! These are delivered one by one. This Ri Xiang Xiao's status is not ordinary, she is a noble clan member. Ri Xiang Xiao was beaten, and his various relatives and clansmen would definitely not be happy. So, the boys and girls of the Hyuga clan jumped out one by one. What Hyuga Hisashi, Hyuga Hisashi. Finally, it leads to Hinata good time, Hinata Rishin. The more Senju Uto thought about it, the more he felt that things should develop like this. And the more he watched, the more he felt that Uchiha Yefan also had the protagonist, luck. So, Senju Uto narrowed his eyes. The originally small eyes became completely slits. How did this Uchiha Yefan rise? He disappeared for a month, everyone thought he was dead, but he succeeded in counter-attacking. During that month, he must have had some adventures. What could it be? Picked up a secret book from the Warring States period. I still picked up the lost artifact of the Uchiha clan. Or, there is some guidance from the old man. Senju Uto was panting, and the more he thought about it, the more it seemed possible. Hinata Hikaru didn't know Senju Uto's funny thoughts. She just waved her little hand, mission first, what Uchiha scumbag, don't worry about him. In Hinata's view, the Uchiha clan is a clan that takes the initiative to commit suicide. If they really want to die, there is nothing they can do to stop them. But if Uchiha Yefan really wants to harm her, then she doesn't mind giving Uchiha Yefan a little color. After Hinata Guang said something, Yesong turned back and said nothing. The team moved forward until they reached the gate and saw Shinayu Chiwiu and Gang Zitong. Hey, it's you again, Hinata Hikari. The two of them smiled at Hikaru Hinata, and they had obviously heard about Hikaru Hinata's deeds. She broke up the matter of Uchiha Ryuki. Hinata nodded vigorously. This leader is going to perform a sea-level mission again. Then, Hinata Hikaru waved his hand to the rich second-generation students behind him. Bring a trumpet. Gangzi I Tong. Shinayuchawiu. When they exited Konoha's meeting gate, the elementary school students stopped. Clearly, someone is up to something. They gathered around a place to stay in the suburbs. You looked at me, I looked at you, the dissatisfaction in their eyes was revealed. Among them, there was a young man with a rather outstanding appearance. He looked no more than 11 or 2 years old. He is about the same age as Uchiha Yafan. According to his age, he should be Hinata Hikaru's senior. Coupled with the radish hairstyle with upturned braids, it is exactly what Senju Uto said before, Narashika 13. From his flashing eyes, you can tell, it reveals wisdom far beyond that of his peers. This is the Nara clan. Born with intelligence and extraordinary intelligence. Many organizations, even the ninja army's staff officers and other brains are served by ninjas from the Nara clan. In the original book of Naruto, Nara Shikamaru and his father Nara Shikaku even became the Hokage's advisor. And now, the head of the Nara clan has assumed the position of leader of the Jounin class in Konoha. Hinata Hikaru noticed Narashizen, and then noticed Uchiha Yafan. Because when Narashizen came over, the latter also raised his head and stared at the former. Could it be that these two people know each other? If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 248. Narashizen is a good friend of Uchiha Yafan. Senju Uto reminded from the side. Oh. Hinata Hikaru suddenly realized. In the past, Uchiha Yafan was the last person and everyone looked down upon him. Only Shikanara is willing to play with him. Because of this incident, the two of them had a good relationship. Hinata pretended not to see the suppressed emotions in Uchiha Yafan's eyes and stared straight at Narashizen, who was walking over. In fact, the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan has a very wide viewing range. Even if the seal is not opened, you can still see more things than ordinary people. All the performances of Uchiha Yafan were seen by Hinata Hikari. Narashikashi looked at Hinata Hikari as he walked, his eyes a little more scrutinizing. This time they traveled together to perform border patrol missions. Theoretically speaking, if you really encounter an enemy, it depends on the captain's ability. If the leader does not give the correct command, the team may be destroyed. At that time, the 8 immortals can only cross the sea and show their magical powers. So, as the smartest person and the one who thinks the most, Narashika-san needs to inquire about Hinata Hikari's arrangements. After all, Hikaru Hinata was the captain personally appointed by Elder Mito Munin. Certainly. Before that, Hinata needs to settle down with his peers. Look at them, every one of them has a straight face, they are all the kind of wealthy people, rich second generation, etc. who come from noble families. If there is no unified opinion, it is likely that the car will overturn prematurely due to the inside bar. Seeing Shikanara walking towards Hikari, others also showed their originally hidden expressions. Some despise Hinata, some are unconvinced, and some want to compete with Hinata. As the so-called newborn calf is not afraid of tigers. They felt that it was nothing special for Hinata Hikari to defeat that, Uchiha Ryuhua. What is the strongest genin? Hey. It sounds like the Uchiha clan themselves are bragging. After all, the character of the Uchiha clan just likes to show off. But couples like Sarutobi Ryo and Senju Muka don't think so. They are deeply aware of the terror of Hyuga Hikari. And, Sarutobi Ryo is stopping Senju Momika, don't let her stop those guys from seeking death. Because a lot of times, violence is the go-to solution to a problem. Uchiha Yafan frowned. Because, He also knew the rumors about Hinata Hikari. The girl from the Hyuga clan in front of him, who was even younger than him, was basically an enhanced version of Uchiha Ryuki, in a sense. The strongest ninja school student, special blood succession limited killing intent wave, white eyes, soft fist, hard fist. In addition, she is also deeply loved by the Sandaime Hokage. We know it from the fact that she was able to enter Jireya's team. No matter from every aspect, this Hinata is the successor of the Will of Fire with a strong foundation. Surprisingly, Uchiha Yukai is very able to understand Hinata Hikari. Maybe it's because I was once in the same downfall. I have always been looked down upon by others, even though I have recently turned over, I still receive cold looks. In this regard, Hyuga is similar. Everyone in the team has ulterior motives, and you can tell from the undisguised contempt in their eyes when they look at Hinata Hikari. Only Hinata is different after all. Completely different from an Uchiha like him who was looked down upon by others. Uchiha Yafan can see his own situation clearly. The Uchiha clan has always been arrogant, with their nostrils pointing upward. These people. To put it nicely, it's called arrogance. To put it bluntly, I don't know how high the sky is and how high it is. And because of his status as a law enforcer, he offended countless people. In Konoha, in fact, the Uchiha clan was already notorious. The wise leader of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Akeyama, actually thought of hiring a killer to kill Hinata Hikari. This is simply insane. Uchiha Yafan is ready to find an opportunity to expose Uchiha Kishin. Of course. This is not at all because he has the will of fire, nor is it because he pities Hinata Hikari. Actually, Uchiha Yafan saw the wider world. Merely Konoha is no longer taken seriously by him. Of course, before achieving that ambitious goal, he needs to survive first. Instead of following Uchiha Kishin and others to seek death and be buried, Uchiha Yukai slowly lowered his head, his eyes twinkling. He slowly clenched his fists, and then, opened them again, over and over again. His movements were also observed by another person. Senju Uto couldn't laugh or cry at Uchiha Yafan's actions. Look. His teeth were clenched tightly, and he had a fierce look on his face. It really looks very similar. Don't deceive young people into being poor. Coupled with a low-key black dress, it does not contain any decorations, but is simply embroidered with the Uchiha clan emblem. Well, completely different from other Uchihas. Hikaru Hinata. Naruto 13 was about to speak and discuss the future mission issues in front of everyone. However, several adult Konoha ninjas walked over on the road ahead, interrupting his words. Uchiha Yafan, what are you doing here? The arrival of several Konoha ninjas chilled the atmosphere at the scene. Without him, it was none other than someone from the Uchiha clan. Judging from their four-person team and their dusty appearance, it was obvious that they had just returned from a mission. Although the ninjas of the Uchiha clan will join the police department after becoming Chuyunin, responsible for arresting criminals, patrolling, and some village management duties, chasing out illegal vendors, fighting shopping streets, etc. But the Uchiha clan will still go out to complete tasks occasionally. Yashiro-sama. Uchiha Yafan stepped forward and nodded slightly at the visitor. The person who just asked the question was none other than Yashiro Uchiha. His hair is white and stands straight up, his eyes are narrowed, and his cheeks are thin. Of course, these are not the most important things. The most important is Uchiha Yashiro is the owner of the 3 Megatama Sharinan and an elite jonin of the Uchiha clan. At the same time, he is also the deputy of Uchiha Akeyama. In the future, a few decades later, because of the death of Uchiha Shisui, he will take his 2 younger brothers to question Uchiha Itachi, but he will be overturned by the young Uchiha Itachi alone. When everyone saw Uchiha Yashiro, They immediately looked at each other. He is the second in command of the Uchiha Police Department. The naughty children, who had previously kept their expressions calm, suddenly had a bit of fear on their faces. One by one, they closed their mouths and stopped talking. After all, the Uchiha clan is famously arrogant. If Yashiro Uchiha dislikes them and takes them to the police station to eat pork chop rice, it will be troublesome. Oh, the price of pork has increased recently. I'm afraid I won't even be able to eat pork chop rice by then. Yashiro-sama, I am working with others to carry out a sea-level mission. Uchiha Yafan temporarily put aside his assessment of Hinata Hikari and concentrated on answering Uchiha Yashiro's questions. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 249. Uchiha Yashiro nodded, and then without any surprise, he spotted Hinata Hikaru in the crowd. How to say? Enemies are extremely jealous when they meet. Uchiha Yashiro's expression was frozen. Hinata Hikari is currently a popular person, a very popular person. Within the Uchiha clan, he was famous. Beating Uchiha Ryuhuoto, a cripple, that would be really amazing. In the eyes of Yashiro Uchiha, this hateful little psycho was based on the Hokage faction and was specifically designed to disgust them. Hinata Hikaru was glared at by Yashiro Uchiha, so naturally he stared back unceremoniously. Not only that, Hinata Hikaru also asked a question very kindly. Gaga, how is your Uchiha Ryuhuo's injury? Uchiha Yashiro and the three police officers behind him almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. Hinata Hikaru really doesn't want to open any pot. And around. The naughty children were stunned by Hinata Hikaru's boldness. Dare to ridicule in front of the elders of the Uchiha Ryuhu tribe. This Hyaga Hikaru is really awesome. At this moment, they realized that Hinata was so arrogant, to the point of being as arrogant as the Uchiha clan. Really? Too silly. The corners of Uchiha Yashiro's mouth were twitching violently. They all knew that Uchiha Ryuhuo's injury would not be cured for a while. Because the position of Hinata Hikari's attack was too vicious. More importantly, this incident completely destroyed Uchiha Ryuhuo's self-esteem. In public, he was killed by Hinata Hikaru for thousands of years. He was already too embarrassed to see anyone. When the leaves on the tree outside the window fall off, I'm afraid it will be my death. Uchiha Ryuhu, who has some mental problems, said this. The strongest genin in the past is now useless. In fact, Yashiro Uchiha wanted to kill Hikari on the spot. However, he did not dare to take action after all. There is no other reason. The naughty kids present are still watching. Each and every one of them is the second generation of power, and they cannot kill people, silence them, eliminate witnesses, etc. I saw Uchiha Yashiro took a deep breath and actually held it back. He fully explained another meaning of ninja. People who can endure. Uchiha Yashiro turned his gaze and looked at Uchiha Yafan, and then he started yelling. Hey Uchiha Yafan, your strength has actually improved compared to a week ago. Uchiha Yashiro said this, and everyone suddenly focused their attention on Uchiha Yafan, who was very low-key and silent all the way. Compared with the rich second generation, Uchiha Yafan is quite inconspicuous, just like his name. However, when everyone carefully examined his strength, they discovered the chakra strength displayed by Uchiha Yafan is actually no less than that of Uchiha Ryuhu. How can this be? Could it be that This Uchiha fan is stronger than Uchiha Ryuhuo. Hiss. Everyone gasped, their faces full of disbelief. Thanks to the guidance and teachings of the elders in the clan. Uchiha fan smiled slightly and said lightly, extremely pretentious. And Uchiha Yashiro nodded happily, well, you're not arrogant or impetuous, that's good, but that's all because of your outstanding talent. No, no, no. Yashiro-sama, it's because the blood of the Uchiha clan flows in our bodies. Ha ha. Ha ha. The two people just started talking to each other about business like no one else was watching. From his personal talents, he boasts all the way to the noble Uchiha clan. When these naughty kids who had never seen the world heard this conversation, their eyes gradually changed. I heard that Uchiha fan counterattacked from the loser. I thought it was made up, but I didn't expect it was true. Yes, seeing is worth hearing 100 times. I didn't expect that such a low-key Uchiha fan could be so strong. Although it is not as shrouded in halo as Uchiha Ryuhuo, but this kind of hard work, from ordinary to extraordinary deeds, is even more admirable. The innocent kids were talking to each other, and the young ones were talking about how awesome Uchiha fan was. Finally, Uchiha Yashiro concluded. Fan, if I remember correctly, you kid, only rose to prominence in the past year. Yes, Yashiro-sama. Uchiha fan nodded. Then, Uchiha Yashiro turned his gaze and looked at Hinata Hikari. Gaga, this guy who is aging prematurely will eventually target this leader. When Hinata saw Uchiha Yashiro's eyes turning malicious, she knew that he was still going to cause trouble. Well, I remember, Hinata Hikaru, you also went from being laughed at by others to becoming famous in Konoha in the past year. Uchiha Yashiro said hypocritically, but the sarcasm on his lips revealed his true thoughts. Everyone began to look at each other in blank dismay. I don't know what Uchiha Yashiro means. Why are Uchiha fan and Hinata Hikaru mentioned at the same time? What a pity. Uchiha Yashiro changed the subject. That kid, fan, doesn't have as good resources as you, he has suffered a lot this year. Everyone is still confused. Senju Uto looked around and knew that it was his turn to be the commentator. Cough cough. Senju Uto cleared his throat and said loudly. Junior Uchiha fan has been looked down upon by others since he was a child. He is called the tail of the crane. Senju Uto paused for a moment when he said this. He was telling the truth that everyone knew. After seeing that there was no change in Uchiha fan's expression, Senju Uto continued. The rise of Junior Uchiha fan has been in the past year. During this year, he relied on his own exploration and actual combat, to forcibly find his own path. That's it for Senju Uto. At this point, everything is clear. The first person to react was Narashika 13. He showed a look of sudden realization. I remember, many of Hinata Hikari's moves were learned from others. The next moment, Narashikamaru and the other naughty kids all looked at Namikaze Minato. Whether it's the golden binding technique, the fire release technique, the instant body technique, the Konoha whirlwind, and all kinds of messy techniques, they were all taught to Hinata Hikaru by Namikaze Minato. These things were all admitted by Namikaze Minato himself. It was during the class examination when I was a ninja student. Not to mention, other people who helped Hinata Hikaru to some extent. In other words, Hinata Hikari's learning resources, interpersonal relationships, and practice environment, are much better than Uchiha fan. Finally, someone figured it out. So, could it be said that Uchiha fan's talent is even higher than that of Hinata Hikaru? Oh my god, how is this possible? Everyone looked in disbelief, and their eyes turned to sincere admiration and admiration when looking at Uchiha fan. After all, one is to rely on help from others. One is practicing blindly on his own, but he achieves the same results. It seems. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 250. There must be the latter, and there is also Uchiha-fan who is stronger. It feels very good to be praised by everyone. Uchiha-fan, who originally had a bitter and angry expression, couldn't help but raise his head with a smile on his face. It would be false to say that I am not satisfied. Uchiha-fan has been laughed at by everyone for too long, and his character has been distorted for so long. Therefore, when he was praised by so many rich second-generation beeps of his peers in the village, it felt so good. Uchiha Yashiro was also laughing, and behind him were 3 Uchiha clan ninjas who were also laughing. By praising Uchiha-fan and then comparing it to Hinata Hikari, the purpose is to belittle the latter. Seeing Hinata's defeat, Yashiro Uchiha was very proud. Senju Uto put away his expression and looked back and forth at Hinata Hikari, Uchiha Yashiro, and Uchiha-fan. Generally speaking, Uchiha-fan, whose training resources are not as good as Hinata Hikari, has absolutely no chance of defeating Hinata Hikaru. In other words, Uchiha-fan is not actually a rival to Hinata, if he doesn't cheat. So, if Uchiha-fan wants to defeat Hinata Hikari in this situation, he must rely on some other things. For example, holding the thigh is also commonly known as the backer. There is no doubt that Uchiha-fan's backer is Uchiha Yashiro. This Uchiha clan is the second in command. This kind of status is already quite NB. After all, Uchiha Yashiro is the most powerful in the Uchiha clan, second only to the boss of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Akiyama. Uchiha Yashiro is enough to be called a big shot. And before the protagonist's wings are full, he wins the favor of big shots, and even takes the initiative to protect him and suppress his opponents. It is standard to have ninja novels. Senju Uto, who had been poisoned by countless novels, couldn't help but nod slightly. He thought to himself, ninja novels really don't deceive me. The scene in front of me is exactly what is written in the book. If Uchiha-fan really has a protagonist, so he will definitely be protected until he grows up, and then fights his way to the level of super god. When the time comes, Uchiha Yashiro, who was originally a big shot, will become a nobody. Behind it is the steadfast Shout 666 who plays a supporting role. Although there are a lot less scenes, by that time, Uchiha Yashiro will definitely gain a lot of benefits and die a good death. According to the routine described in ninja novels, Uchiha Yashiro only needs to lie down and win in the later stage. To put it simply, it is a win-win outcome for both parties. This little psycho. Yashiro Uchiha laughed and laughed. Very proud. He thought to himself, if Hyuga Hikaru is ridiculed, he will definitely have a fit and then insult himself in public. When the time comes, I will have the right reasons to get rid of her. Senju Uto also frowned. If Hinata Hikaru couldn't help but fight back at this time, he would be playing into the hands of Yashiro Uchiha, and Hinata Hikaru would definitely suffer. But I have to say, this ginger is always spicy. At the same time, there are also very vicious practices that use the mind of an adult to plot against a child. Hinata Hikaru is only 9 years old, but Uchiha Yashiro is already in his early 30s. The difference in life experience and age between the two is more than 3 times. Senju Uto couldn't help but worry about Hinata Hikari. He was already thinking that Hinata Hikari was going to fight. At that time, Hinata Hikaru will be very angry, and she will take action as her younger brother Nasomatsu. Yasong was knocked down on the spot by Uchiha-fan, and even more angry was Hinata Hikaru, who took action himself. However, Uchiha-fan had the passive ability to kill monsters at a higher level, and Hinata Hikaru was beaten with teeth everywhere. It is even possible to cheat and upgrade on the spot. After all, there shouldn't be too many routines like this in ninja novels. And even if he couldn't beat him, Yashiro Uchiha would stop him. When the time comes, if Hinata Hikaru is given a big hat, no matter how you look at it, Hinata Hikaru will suffer. Even if Hinata Hikari wins in the end, those around her will still say, "You, Hinata Hikari, won because you had more training resources than Uchiha Yafan." If the two have the same conditions, we don't know who will win. Depend on. It's so difficult to solve that it's a dead end. This Uchiha Yashiro has completely arranged Hinata Hikaru to be a villain. Senju Uto began to sweat. The scary thing is Uchiha. It deserves to be as famous as the Senju clan. As the saying goes, once bitten by a snake for 10 years, you are afraid of well ropes. Senju Uto was tricked by Uchiha Ryawai, which already cast a shadow in his heart. However, he didn't know that there was one, and Hinata Hikaru knew it. And quack, this leader is not stupid, how could he jump into the trap by himself? Hinata smiled strangely and didn't take it seriously. Regardless of her previous life or this life, countless unscrupulous people wanted to harm her. There are endless tricks, Hinata Hikaru said. He has already experienced hundreds of battles and has seen a lot. She has never seen what a villain looks like. Tell me. This Uchiha Yashiro, but there are little tricks, little tricks. Sarutobi Ryo and Hinata Xiao looked at Hinata Hikaru, feeling slightly worried like Senju Uto. They didn't know how Hinata would break the situation. After all, this time the opponent is too bad and the level is too high. It is not the same level as before when he was a primary school student from all walks of life. Others, on the other hand, had the attitude of watching a good show and silently watching the development of the situation. Namikaze Minato and Namatsu naturally noticed everyone's performance, but they were not worried at all. At this time, all he had to do was stand firmly behind Hinata Hikari, and everything would be in silence. That's right, being a teammate is your responsibility. No matter what path Hinata chooses, both of them will support it unconditionally to the end. Because, there is Hyuga light. Under the gaze of everyone, Hinata smiled and finally said, "This is a mission, Elder Yan asked me to be the leader." Hinata looked around at everyone and looked at the faces one by one. This leader knows that most of you are from noble backgrounds and are not convinced by this decision. Of course, everyone was not convinced. Just when they were about to say it was time, Yashiro Uchiha interfered. "But yes, since Elder Yan asked this leader to do this, I will also do my duty of leading the team." Hinata Hikaru said that she doesn't care what others think, but she will fulfill her obligations as a captain. The country of Yu is bordered by the country of Frost, and behind the country of Frost is the country of Thunder. In the Kyumigakure village of Thunder Country, ninjas crossed these two countries with the intention of invading Konoha. The Second Ninja War was a war that swept the entire ninja world. Konoha is one of the enemies, so the country of Thunder is Kyumigakure. One of the battlefields was set up in the northwest area of the Kingdom of Yu and the Kingdom of Fire. Of course, the Fire Country is very large and Konoha cannot possibly garrison it all. The only way to do this was to send out patrols frequently, so Hikaru Hinata and others received sea-level missions. When patrolling those battlefields, Konoha ninjas have no time to pay attention to the blind spots and hidden areas. There is also, filling the gap. So, the person that this leader and you all may encounter in Hidden Cloud Village is a ninja. At this point, Hinata paused for a moment and saw her starting to take things out of the ninja bag. Soon, he took out a small scroll. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 251. This scroll looks very inconspicuous and can be bought anywhere. Everyone looked at each other in confusion, wondering what Hinata was going to do. I saw. Hinata Hikaru slowly unfolded the scroll, and there were black circular sealing techniques with the word sealing written on them one after another. Obviously there is something hidden inside by Hinata. What? Untie. As smoke rose from the Hyagalite seal, a bunch of Konoha appeared here. Everyone blinked. One moment, it seemed like an ordinary Konoha, the next moment, under the sunlight, it reflected a sharp cold light. This. Everyone present is a ninja. Even the youngest one is the same age as Hinata Hikaru. To put it bluntly, everyone present, from kids playing with Konoha to adults. They could tell at a glance that the Konoha that Hinata Hikaru took out were different. Hinata Hikaru slowly picked up one of them under the focused gaze of everyone. Then he stretched out his little hand backwards. Then Minato Namikaze took out an ordinary Konoha from the ninja bag he carried and handed it to Hinata Hikari. Putting the two Konoha together and comparing them made everyone see their differences clearly. Hinata's Konoha looks sharper and rising, there is a faint red line standing in it. It looks like a cool version of the enhanced special skin. And the only ordinary Konoha that Namikaze Minato took out was an ordinary Konoha. Then Hinata Hikari clenched two Konoha, slowly opened her hands, and then cross suddenly. Click. After a moment of light and shadow passed by, everyone opened their eyes in disbelief. See you soon. Hinata Hikari's special version of Konoha easily cuts an ordinary Konoha into two pieces. The upper half of the Konoha was flying. The cut surface glowed in the sun and was as smooth as a mirror. Everyone looked at the scene dumbfounded and immediately reacted to the fact that Hinata Hikari's special Konoha was so sharp. Generally speaking, the metals used to make Konoha are very strong. Unless you are fighting against a samurai who uses draw swords, it will be easy and impossible to cut off. However, Hinata Koyu actually used the Konoha in her hand to cut off the ordinary Konoha so easily. Could it be that this is a customized version that she spent a lot of money to buy specially? I saw Hinata Hikaru throwing away the broken Konoha and showing the special Konoha with a faint red line in front of everyone. These Konoha, you have been warmed and nurtured by the leader of the church. They are far more powerful than ordinary weapons. The leader of the leader has decided to give each of these Konoha a handful. I will give them to everyone in case I encounter the enemy when the enemy fights with Konoha. If the opponent doesn't pay attention, he will be tricked to death. If you have a plan, you can take some small advantages. This is also a little bit of my thoughts as the leader of the team. Silence has an eerie silence. Suddenly there was no one making a sound. At this moment, except for the slight autumn wind, there was no sound. Ninjutsu is very valuable in this world. But it's not impossible to get. As long as you follow the steps and become a Chunin, you can obtain C-level ninjutsu. If you get along with the special Jounin and Jounin, you can be qualified to obtain the B-level ninjutsu in the village. If you can become an elite Jounin, A-level ninjutsu is also beckoning to you. And if he could go one step further, and make great contributions to the village, S-level ninjutsu would not be impossible to acquire. But there is something in this world, and even if you become an elite Jounin, you may not be able to get it. Then, a powerful ninja tool. In the entire Konoha hidden village, there is only one person in this area who possesses a magical weapon. His name is Heitake Sakumo. Heitake Sakumo is said to be second only to the Sandaime Hokage in strength. He has made great contributions to the village, and his three proud disciples, including the third generation, all exist dimly in front of him. From here you can see how powerful Heitake Sakumo is. In order to reward Heitake Sakumo for his contribution to Konoha, the third generation Hokage spent a lot of money and connections, and invited famous teachers from the country of craftsmen to create a short sword for Heitake Sakumo that was chakra conducting metal properties. Its name is White Fang. This is also the origin of Heitake Sakumo's nickname Konoha White Fang. It would not be an exaggeration to say that the White Fang Tanto is an extremely rare weapon in Konoha. You should know that there is Kirigakura village in the land of water, which is famous for its production of ninja swords. After hundreds of years of accumulation, there are only 7 ninja swordsmen, thus forming the 7 ninja swordsmen. From here you can see how difficult it is to have Yu as a magic weapon. The kunao Hinata Hikaru took out was naturally incomparable to those magical weapons. However, there are ninja tools that have far exceeded the level of extreme ninjas that ordinary ninjas can obtain. It almost catches up with the famous swords worn by the fallen samurai. In all the genin present, there were various rich and powerful second generations in their families. However, they never dared to think that they could obtain such a powerful weapon. Hinata Hikari said that he would give such a powerful weapon to them. Oh my God, do you have yourself? You are dreaming, right? However, Hinata didn't even frown when she took out a dozen special kunao. Oh, this is an exaggeration, right? Various thoughts arose in everyone's hearts, and they no longer looked at Hinata Hikaru, but with contempt. Some kind of craze. And at this moment, the only people who are not fanatical, are probably the group of Uchiha people. Uchiha Yafan, Uchiha Yashiro and the 3 Uchiha minor players were all dumbfounded. Then there were flames in their eyes. How can you pretend to be generous to win people's hearts? But I have to say that this little psycho is very good at changing the subject. In an instant, the protagonist of the story was led from Uchiha Yafan to herself. At this moment, is there anyone who is no longer paying attention to the issue of Uchiha Yafan's cultivation resources? Hinata Hikaru's side of the trench had completely shocked them. Although everyone present was powerful, they had never seen such a powerful weapon. Therefore, greedy, jealous, and the desire to get it immediately filled my heart. Namikaze Minato looked around and smiled slightly. The first person to step forward picked up a kunao and naturally put it into his ninja bag. Then there is the wild pine. After the 2 of them took it, other people woke up from a dream, and one by one, like a starving ghost reincarnated, they impatiently stepped forward and took away the handful that belonged to them. As if they were afraid that Hinata would take them back at the next moment. And many more. At this moment, Uchiha Yashiro interrupted everyone's movements with a loud shout. With a grim look on his face, he quickly walked over and picked up a special kunao to look at. Then, the pupils suddenly shrank. The Uchiha clan, who can play with kunao, can naturally identify the NBS of these kunao. Lighter weight. Sharper. Even, stunts with a hint of blood. Really, amazing. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 252. Such a powerful kunao specializes in killing, so a ninja will naturally be more skillful when using it. Most of the battles between ordinary ninjas involve testing with ninja tools. Either throwing shurikens or slashing in close combat. If they find themselves in a stalemate, they will immediately switch to ninjutsu. When the chakra is almost exhausted, it will turn to throwing shurikens or melee kunao for slashing. But there is. If you have this kind of kunao in your hand. Imagine that the enemy comes up and wants to follow the plan, and uses the kunao to slash twice to test it. As a result, the kunao on our side was extremely powerful in an instant. Not only did it destroy the opponent's kunao, but it also took away the opponent's life while the opponent was extremely surprised. This kind of advantage. The corners of Uchiha Yashiro's mouth couldn't help but twitch. But there is a problem. Hikaru Hinata, where did you get these ninja tools? Yashiro Uchiha asked. Based on Hinata Hikari's estimated total property amount and her family background, it was impossible to obtain so many kunao, especially kunao. Uchiha Yashiro's eyes narrowed and suddenly widened, as if Hinata Hikari would send her in to eat pork cutlet rice if she didn't tell the truth. Hinata Hikaru gave Uchiha Yashiro a very disdainful look. These weapons were all cultivated by our leader using his own killing intent waves because only the first batch of experimental products the effect may not be perfect. Look at you, you look like you have never seen the world. Have you heard of cultivating immortals? Of course, Yashiro Uchiha had never heard of cultivating immortals. But some people in the world of Naruto are close to cultivating immortals. The two brothers Kagaya Itsutsuki, Hag Oromo Itsutsuki, and Hamura. There is also the immortal of Six Paths who is his younger brother. These three people are the closest to immortal beings. Hinata's dream of flying with a sword is not yet achievable, but if you follow the steps step by step, you can still try it. Use the fluctuation of killing intent to inject it into the ninja tool. Over time, the ninja tool will be infected by the fluctuations of killing intent, thereby changing its characteristics. There is nothing metaphysical about this. Here is a real example. In the Hidden Cloud Village, there are also those who ate the flesh and blood of the two former Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers who ate the 9 tails and gained the ability to transform into tailed beasts. What this shows is that chakra can have an impact on the human body and can even change its DNA structure. Among the 7 swords in the blood mist, there is a decapitating sword. As long as it absorbs blood, it can complete regeneration. All these deeds show some feasibility. Hinata Hikari's mind is so big that she will not let go of these attempts. What's more, Hinata Hikaru had already mastered this method of nourishment in his previous life, and now he just had to use it again. After listening to Hinata Hikari's words, everyone's hands shook so much that they almost dropped the kunao in their hands to the ground. What does Hinata Hikari say? These special kunao were all modified by her herself. Everyone, the expressions on their faces became very strange, and when they looked at Hinata, their eyes became completely indescribably complicated. The current focus is that there are no ninja villages in the ninja world except for the distant overseas country Takumai no Kuni. Ninjas who are good at refining ninja tools are. If what Hinata Hikaru said is true, then she will become Konoha's first ninja master. There are many jounin in Konoha Hidden Village, and there are also many elite jounin. Even a dead village can be cultivated again. However, there is only one kind of talent that cannot be cultivated. Then there is such a thing as Hinata Hikaru being able to refine ninja tools. How to refine ninja tools has always been a mystery. The neutral position is the support of the overseas country of Takumai, and a set of methods that have been passed down to this day, have not been acquired by other countries. It is a pity that Kirigakura village. As time goes by, the method of how to forge the 7 ninja swords, a magical weapon of this level, has been completely lost. Otherwise, the 7 ninja swordsmen would have to be renamed the 8 ninja swordsmen or the 70 ninja swordsmen. Making ordinary ninja tools is very simple. The kunao, shuriken, kodaki and other weapons used by everyone in Konoha were all made by craftsmen funded by the daimyos of the Land of Fire. But there is nothing that can be done about the fire country that goes beyond ordinary ninja tools. Hyuga Hikari appeared to fill this gap. It is precisely because the people present are not the rich second generation but the powerful second generation that they understand the importance of people like Hinata Hikari. For Konoha, it is possible that there is no replacement for Hyuga Hikaru that exists. Now, she is only 9 years old. She can make such a ninja tool in a few years. She can even think about the level of the 7 ninja swords of Kirigakura village. Suddenly, everyone looked at Hinata with enthusiasm and respect. They all want to please Hinata Hikari and have a good relationship with her. This is not only great for themselves, it is also beneficial for their family. If you can win over Hinata Hikaru, all the dissatisfaction with Hinata Hikaru up to this point disappeared. Little mental illness, family separation, these things were completely forgotten by everyone. They just want to shout 666 to Hinata Hikaru. Finally, all of us couldn't help but shout it out with excitement. If only one of us was not qualified, some of the elite jonin in the village would definitely be greatly improved if they got such a weapon. The village has its strength, right? That's too far gone. But Hinata smiled. The ninja tool I am refining this time is not as good as you think. The elite jonin will definitely look down on it. However, it is more than enough for you to use. If you encounter the enemy, use this. The higher level is to use the ninja tool to crush the opponent and make the opponent angry. Oh! Everyone couldn't help but let out a loud shout. At this moment, Hinata Hikaru has naturally become the captain in everyone's mind. They said Hinata Hikaru will always have my big brother. With a smile on his face, Namikaze Minato looked around, and the faces in his eyes were full of excitement and joy. Comparing Hinata Hikari with Uchiha Yafan has been completely forgotten by everyone. It was Uchiha Yafan who was so high-spirited just now, no one cares about him now. Namikaze Minato shook his head. Although this Uchiha Yashiro has the Uchiha clan as the second in command, his perspective on things is too narrow. Of course, it is not entirely their fault that the Uchiha clan became what they are today. This has a lot to do with the suppressive policy of the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. May have. No matter what, Namikaze Minato was determined to stand beside Hinata Hikaru and stop all attempts to kill her. Except for Namikaze Minato, everyone else present also had different ideas. This Uchiha Yafan is at best a pearl covered in dust and at best a genius. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 253. And there are so many geniuses in Konoha Hidden Village. One more of him is not too much, and one less of him is not too much. Hinata Hikaru is different. If it is possible, Hinata Hikaru can even improve the strength of the entire village by a large margin in the future. This Uchiha Yafan is completely incomparable to other geniuses. Or people make expressions of sudden realization. No wonder Hinata's bald head is a problem. He was born in a separate Hyuga clan but was able to be included in Jireya's team. It turns out that she has a talent for refining ninja tools like this. There are even people like Ryo Sarutobi who are already thinking about more powerful things. Sarutobi Ryo had a look of disbelief on his face, looking at Hinata Hikari and looking at this girl with white eyes who had once made her feel miserable and was still living in his family. When these naughty kids are still thinking about how to improve their personal strength. Hinata Mitsuyu is already dedicating himself to the village. This is such a broad horizon. Hinata Hikaru Yuma has the will of fire, good girl Balabala. I think we should report this matter to the Hokage immediately. His brain was spinning, and Narashizen was the quickest to figure it out in his hands. Konao immediately realized the problem and its importance. The top priority is that there are no longer sea-level tasks, it's a matter of time. Hikari Hinata's abilities are likely to contribute to the Second Ninja War. This is unnecessary. Namikaze Minato took a step forward and said gently. We, the guidance Jounin, Jiraiya-sensei have already gone to report. This was the reason why Jiraiya didn't come together to meet up this morning. Oh, it's worth mentioning that after 2 weeks of treatment, Jiraiya was finally fully recovered from the injuries caused by Tsunade's punch, which is really gratifying. Then continue to set off to perform sea-level missions. Narashikama and other boys and girls have turned their attention to Hinata Hikaru. Of course not. Hinata refused. Just then, Hinata Hikaru took a step forward without fear and stared at Uchiha Yashiro. That cute little face changed into a cold expression. This Uchiha Yashiro offended her and she just wanted to end it like this. Police Department, Deputy Captain, you are so big and powerful. There is Yashiro Uchiha. By exalting Uchiha Yafan, you have belittled the leader and achieved your revenge. But I would like to ask if this, with you, is a deliberate attempt to sow discord between people in the same village. Hinata Hikaru revealed the opponent's eyes with a backhand. She and Uchiha Yafan have no grievances. This Uchiha Yashiro was very bad, and he instigated the two of them not to interact with each other, and the relationship was heading towards bad development. It is equivalent to establishing an antagonistic relationship between the two parties invisibly. Do you think that this leader only wants to compete with Uchiha Yafan, but he doesn't have any ideas about sowing discord with you, old guy? That's naturally impossible. Hinata Hikaru is not stupid. How dare you scold me? Uchiha Yashiro opened his eyes wide and looked like he couldn't believe it. This little psycho is nothing more than a bratty genin. How dare you scold him in front of so many juniors? What's wrong with scolding you? You are full of bad intentions, you are causing trouble to others, and you don't allow others to say it back. Hinata Hikari pinched her waist with an expression that said she was about to scold you. These villains are so shameless. On the one hand, they use all kinds of despicable and shameless means to frame others. On the one hand, they demand that the victim be as noble as a saint. Only they can come up with this kind of wise logic. What are you doing? Do you want to go back and complain to your 7th aunt and 8th aunt? Hinata Hikaru's words immediately choked Yashiro Uchiha, his face turned red. The Uchiha clan is the best at beating up their younger sisters, older brothers, and 7 aunts and 8 aunts. Hinata Hikaru was sarcastically saying that if Uchiha Yashiro was scolded, he would go home and find someone to complain to. You must think clearly with my leader, the backstage is even tougher than yours. Hikaru Hinata, who is in the background. Of course not the Sandaime Hokage. Uchiha Yashiro clenched his teeth and his face, and his muscles kept twitching. Only now did he realize that this Hinata was far more arrogant than he imagined. He really wanted to slap Hinata Hikari to death on the spot, but there was Hinata Hikaru. The Sandaime Hokage in the background was still so powerful, and the second-generation naughty kid was watching. If you want to kill her, you can't do it because it's too conspicuous. Let's go, it's a complete waste of time to talk to this kind of scum. Hinata Hikaru walked away with her hands behind her back, leaving only the humiliated Yashiro Uchiha. Damn that, little psycho. Uchiha Yashiro clenched his fist so hard that his joints almost turned white. Humph. But then he snorted coldly and revealed a sinister sneer on his lips. You won't be able to jump for long, then Uchiha Takano will hire a killer from the underground black market. Hinata Hikaru took the lead on the road. Behind them were Ryo Sarutobi and other genin. After what happened just now, their views on Hinata changed again. I thought that Hinata Hikaru was just an ordinary, neurotic girl. Unexpectedly, with her, even the second-in-command of the Uchiha clan would dare to confront her, leaving the other party as speechless as a grandson. Real. It's so powerful and so refreshing. The reputation of the Uchiha clan is not very good to begin with. Many people in the village couldn't bear to see them. Today, Hinata Hikaru beat each other up and really relieved themselves. Hyuga optical girl is mighty. Senju Uto followed behind, looking like a loser. It was an eye-opener for him today. Senju Uto thought, here's the difference between the protagonist and the supporting role. He almost thought it was a dead end just now. However, I never expected that this thing that was not possible for Hinata Hikaru would be so easy for Hinata Hikaru, and it would happen in seconds. This further strengthened Senju Uto's idea of hugging Hinata Hikaru's thigh. Hadad. Hinata took a long breath of relief. After spraying Yashiro Uchiha for a while, he felt refreshed. This Uchiha clan is always looking for trouble for her. No matter how good-tempered they are still very angry. As soon as Hinata Hikaru released his anger, he immediately released it. What Uchiha Yashiro, is he very powerful? So what about elite Jounin? As long as you mix in Konoha, you must abide by Konoha's rules. The Uchiha clan is not even righteous, Namatsu commented with a frown. The Uchiha clan has indeed gone too far. Namikaze Minato shook his head and could not tolerate their behavior of persecuting an innocent girl. The last member of the team is Uchiha Yefan. He was staring at the sunbeam from a distance, his eyes flickering from his back. Walking side by side with him, there is his natural friend Narashika Juzo. Unlike Uchiha Yefan, there is Narashika 13, whose eyes are a little more curious about Hinata Hikaru. Because Narashizan is familiar with Uchiha Yefan, he has numerous connections. But he has never seen a girl as magical as Hinata Hikari. The other genin looked at Hinata Hikari with convinced expressions. Although the people present were from a powerful group, it was only those like Hinata Hikaru who dared to confront Yashiro Uchiha that truly convinced them. Hinata Hikaru did something they wanted to do but didn't dare to do. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version.